Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jojo and I'm your mum that plays The Sims. Today we are building a starter home on the end of the Foundry Cove, the little cul-de-sac in Willow Creek. Continuing on from in our Willow Creek rebuild. I can't even speak today. So this is, I can't remember how big the lot size is. I'm not going to try and pretend that I remember, but we can find out in a minute. So this is going to be a starter home. I played around with this so much, honestly. So many times I moved. I just resized everything. But yeah, so it's going to be a starter home. So I'm going to try and keep it within the budget of 20k ish. I do end up making it for an adult and two children, so you would have more. I think it's 24, isn't it? 24k. There are two versions. It is up on the gallery. There are two versions. We've got the starter home version, and it's got more in it basically, because the starter home just ended up looking really basic. I do also use quite a lot of debug items, particularly like plants and stuff, because it just keeps the costs down. So here, just doing the main size of the house, just trying to keep it in keeping with the rest of the stuff that's in the area as well. I do understand. I do know it doesn't have a massive amount of backyard space, but obviously bear in mind when I'm building this one, I'm keeping it in this area, so it's got like to the left, it's got like this little fishing area to the creek, and I do use a tool to put a swing set down to the side of the house, which obviously they can still use it. It will be open enough that the kids can still go and play. And then just down the road is obviously the big community park they can go and play in as well. So just popping my little outside stairs in there. So I'm just going to turn it around in a second and just make the wall height bigger. Do I make the wall height bigger? Yes, because I've put a platform in the front. I get confused between platforms. What's a platform? Platforms and foundation. So if you're looking thinking, why are you doing a platform there, Jojo? It's outside. It should be a foundation. I get confused, and it's not difficult to confuse me. So the little bit on the front I'm putting there is going to be a chimney, but it's not a usable chimney. It's just to look nice. I just find that they look that makes them look a bit nicer. And just playing about with the roofs and stuff. The roofs again took me a little minute just to try and get them right. Roofs are one of the banes of my life. I cannot do them, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm particularly good at them. So honestly, if you want to download any of my builds and redo the roof, or anything you think, oh god, Jojo, that's awful, you could do that a lot better. Honestly, I really don't mind. Just please, as long as I'm credited with you as the original builder, I don't mind. You can do whatever you like. I'm not precious enough to think that I'm the best of the builder in the world. So yeah, just trying to make sure that the roof trims line up. It bothers me. It bothers me. I do believe I did keep this one green. I think I tried a few different colours, but I did keep this one green, just to be in keeping with the area. And yeah, again, this is it's not a usable chimney. It's just to look nice. So if you just build them like little rooms on top of each other, and on the very top, if you put like the shortest half wall, and then put a trim on top of that, and it makes it look like a chimney. Like I said, it's not usable, but it just looks nice, and it just makes your builds a little bit more interesting. Again, the roofing was very interesting here. I did try to do something different. I think, did I end up going with a red roof? I think I might, or orange roof. It depends what light you're in, to be perfectly honest. Sometimes I choose a colour and I think, oh yeah, that looks really good. And then I turn it around in a different light. It's like, oh no, what's happened? So I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I do choose a different colour just because I wanted something a bit different. Because I don't know about you, but I end up falling into the trap of I end up doing the same thing over and over again. So trying to do sort of landscaping. I do like to use the terrain paint to create the paths instead of the paving slabs. I don't know why. I like it. I'm not so keen on the straight lines and stuff, but you know, I'll never say never. Just choosing my doors and things like that. So I am drinking a cup of tea at the same time. I'm English. We drink tea. And this one's getting cold and it's bothering me. I don't drink cold tea. Do anybody English people drink cold tea? I can't stand it. It drives me. Iced tea? I drink iced tea. Very nice. But no, cold tea? No, absolutely not. Don't like cold tea. Oh, it's gross. It's going off your tongue. It's not worth it. So yeah, and I did have to have a play about with the platforms inside the house as well. Again, platforms, they drive me insane. I love using them because they create lots of different like levels and things in the build. But I do sometimes, I'll get confused about what bits I put platform on, what bits haven't, and then suddenly something doesn't work, and it's like, oh, for the love of everything that's good and pure. See, I'm looking at the screen now, and that the roof is bothering me. That little bit where they're not touching, that bothers me. Somebody else probably look at it and think it's fine, but that annoys me. So I'm not sure. Did I fix that? Oh no, I do end up putting another level on this house, so ignore that. I was just thinking about, did I leave that? I didn't leave it. I put another level on the roof in the end. I end up using these debug lights. I don't know why they're debug, but they do work. So and it means that I don't have to pay for them either, which is nice. Yeah, it is handy to use the debug items, and I do recommend using the Better Build By and Organised Debug section, because honestly, before I discovered that and learned how to use it, you were scrolling through everything trying to find the debug items that you want, and honestly, it just makes it so much better to use Organised Debug. Just make sure you keep it up to date with all the different updates and things that come out. So I think, what am I doing here? I think I put some things outside. Yeah, I think this is when I put the swing set outside. I use tool to pop the swing set. I can't even speak, for the love of goodness me. Yeah, to pop the swing set over a little bit. It is a little bit trial and error doing it like that, because you basically just have to click where you want it and just hope it goes into the right space. But it does help save some space. I do it quite a lot. You see in my other builds, I do it sometimes with the outside plant when I use bushes instead of fences. I like to use bushes instead of fences as well. When you use tool to do that, you can put the bushes ever so slightly outside the boundary of your lot, so it makes your lot look a little bit bigger than it actually is, and it means you're not taking up that whole space with a bush, which is with plants or whatever it is, which is quite nice. I think so. I think I like to use the space. It's just, just a different way to use the space. So yeah, tool mod I absolutely recommend, particularly when you are having to move things around, because there's some things that even if you alt place them, they don't quite place right. Curtains is one of them. Drives me insane. I was watching a little Simsy video actually, and she said about the curtains, you can't move them around. If you use the tool mod, you can, because you can size them correctly as well without using your squarey bracket keys. You can make things bigger and smaller, but with use the tool mod, you can size it properly, so it's not just whatever hits with the bracket keys, but also you can elevate it, etc. as well, because if you just resize it, it still thinks that it's a specific size and it will only clip to a certain place on the window. Whereas if you use the tool mod, put it on the window and then just elevate it or whatever to where you need it to go. It's very handy. I think so as well. I actually did use a fence here. I don't normally like to use a fence. I don't know why. I really don't know why. It just, for me, in my head, it doesn't look right to have a big. I think part of it is that because of the way the gates are, they don't look quite. Sometimes you don't get the gates that match the fences quite rightly, and to me, it just doesn't. I'm not going to pretend that I understand how my brain works. Life update whilst I'm here. I apologise I've not been around for a while. I'm a member of the Fairham Musical Society, and we've just done Shrek at the brand new Fairham Live Theatre. Absolutely incredible experience. Really, really hard work. I mean, I had a couple of different roles, and just doing the stuff that I did was so much hard work. It paid off. So yeah, that's my little life update while I've not been around for a while. And obviously we've had school holidays, and my back is like, my back knows it's done a big show and it's not happy with me at all. It was screaming the other day. But yeah, so that's where we are at the moment. So I thought I'd come and, my back's paying up, so I can't do any heavy lifting and stuff, so I thought I'd come and sit and do a little voiceover for you guys, just to do something a little bit different with my time for today. So doing some terrain paint, just to sort of bed everything in, make it look nice, and then popping some trees in, again using debug and resizing some things to make it look a little bit interesting. I like to use those, I think it's cypress trees. is me trying to pretend I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think they're cypress trees. I like to use them, particularly these sort of houses, because I don't know why, it just looks right to me. Maybe it's an English thing. I don't know. Oh, yeah, and the mailbox. Always remember the mailbox. I always forget the mailbox. And the bins. I always forget the bins as well. And I've just you sort of, you move your sim in and you just like, hang on a minute, there's no bins in here. We need to do something about that, don't we? I'll put some tables and chairs out. Again, just trying to keep things as cheap as possible. So I do put the sort of, the dirt cheap as I possibly can make it. Tables and chairs up without it looking awful. Tables and chairs outside. I don't know why I put 4 up there. I could have just quite easily used 2 to save myself some money. Anyway, it's done now, isn't it? Right. I need to fill in the terrain. I do sometimes. I will hover backwards and forwards between different things, and then I'll bit by bit fill it, as opposed to say, right, this is the garden. I need to do the garden now. La la la. Because I'll suddenly think, oh, actually, I see something else. That that'll be nice in such and such a place. Yeah. So just having a look now, and I'm thinking this is when I go and start to go upstairs. I don't know what I'm doing here. This is when I'm trying to make that roof match. It's annoying me. I do take, I'm pretty sure I take that roof off because I wanted the bit over the porch as well. And now I'm just having a look at the inside, making sure the windows look nice. I don't know if I'm the only one that does this, but I really do like the windows to look nice on the outside. Sometimes to the detriment of what's going on inside, but yes, I do like to make the windows look nice on the outside. So yeah, this is when I'm adding the second floor. It's the starter home that you move to when you've kind of finished, if that makes sense. This is your second home, so you've moved into the starter home. You've lived there for a while. You've earned some money. You've had a kid or 2, and then you come in and move into this house. That's my plan. So you'll have a little bit more money than perhaps the starter home budget. That's the idea, and that's why I think I moved everything around a little bit and tried to make a bit more space upstairs. I know now you can do the roof a bit different than that, but that's what I've gone with for the moment. So yeah, and then it stops it from clipping into each other, and it makes my head feel a bit better about things. I really like this house. I think it looks really, really pretty. And just popping a little outside awning on, I think that was partly why I chose the roof I did as well, because I wanted it to match in with the awning. Because it just, again, it bothers me. Did I choose the orange roof? I really should know if I choose that. It was my phone, not yours, by the way. Yeah, and then some little windows as well, because I don't like the windows being behind the roof. Because in my mind, obviously, you wouldn't have that, would you? I know this isn't real life. Before anyone starts saying, "Oh, it's not real life," I know it's not real life. I'm very well aware. Oh, and by the way, I just noticed I always forget the ceilings. Always, without fail, I forget the ceilings. So if you go into any of my builds, all my ceilings will be the bog standard ones that it normally goes with. So don't expect anything special. So anyway, I'm just working on the upstairs here. I do play about with the layout a little bit because I want to fit in a child's bedroom and an adult's bedroom. I have a habit of still thinking that you need the extra space. Obviously, The Sims 4 isn't perfect. It is glitchy. But in my mind, I'm still in The Sims 1 where things were really glitchy and you had to allow lots of space for the pathing to move things around. And I end up making hallways and things really, really big. Because I just say, in my mind, everything is still as it was before. So I popped a fireplace in. I always knew I wanted a fireplace in there. And I don't like this layout upstairs. I do change it, so don't panic. Jojo, what have you done? That looks blinking awful. Don't worry, I've sorted it. I moved the wall over and I just moved the window. What was bothering me, the reason I did it like that is because the windows didn't look right on the outside. Because that big window I've got there, I wanted it centred in this. I wanted obviously in the centre. But if I had that big wall there, I wouldn't be able to do that. So that's why I've changed it. So I've got the 3 windows, so I could, if you see, look, I move the wall out there, and then there's windows sit nice. Do you see? Do you see where my thought process was going there? I think, and then I change it to 3 single windows, and yeah, I don't know. I do something. Ah, there we go. I do something interesting. I might put another window around the other side. That could possibly be what I do. And just to make it match. See, I like to make it match and symmetrical. I probably now wouldn't do that. I'd probably just put that one in the middle, but hey ho. I did these a while ago, by the way. It takes me a long time to get back into them. Just shoving the lights in so I can see what I'm doing. It's always nice. So I think I originally did it like the I don't care what packs and how much I spend mode. And then I go back and think, actually, yeah, I do need to try and keep this within a decent budget. So I do go back to look at it again and think, yeah, I do need to put some different stuff in there. I did try and make this a base game build, but unfortunately my brain sometimes can't cope with just being restricted like that. So I end up building loads of things that I probably shouldn't do and spending all the money. I don't like to restrict myself, because my argument is, in real life I'm restricted. I'm restricted so much in how much money I can spend. I like to live vicariously through my Sims, so I don't tend to restrict myself. But obviously I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to challenge myself to be better and use the restrictions of the packs. I do believe I put a little hallway in here just because it was bothering me about opening the door straight onto the kitchen. That was bothering me. I didn't open the front door straight onto the kitchen because it's not supposed to be that kind of house. Yeah, it's not supposed to be that kind of house, so I think I do add that in a minute. And I do believe I still stick with those cupboards, but obviously I do change them slightly, and I do change the colour scheme slightly. Oh, I think, do I use it? I end up using this wallpaper from the cafe kit, don't I? I think this is from the bistro, from the new bistro kit. Oh yes, it is, isn't it? Oh, pretty. Yeah, I think I liked that. I don't know why, I just liked that for the living room. I thought it looked really nice. Oh my living word, what am I doing? I'm all over the shop. So I've painted with the bistro kit, and I think I end up moving that front porch wall just out slightly. That's it, just to give a little bit more space in the hallway area. It still leaves a nice big kitchen diner, but it just adds just allows a little bit more space for them to move about. Otherwise they bump into each other. Oh, there's pathway issues, and we don't like that. I just like to make life easy. So just looking at the kitchen, trying to find just ways of making things look pretty. Don't believe I leave the fridge there. I've got a feeling I moved that fridge over. Ah, yes, there we go. See, I do remember vaguely what's going on. I don't often have a clue what's going on in the world, but you know, it's just sometimes I surprise you. I need to put a stove in there. I love using these little end cabinets and things to make things match and look nice, but I do sometimes find the top ones don't always do what they're supposed to do, which bothers me. When you put top cabinets in, they don't always clip to the right places, and you don't always have top cabinets that match the bottom cabinets, which really bothers me as well. If you're going to put in new, just for EA, if you're watching, I doubt anybody's watching these ones, but you know, if you're watching, if you're going to make a new swatch for a base game counter or a new base game counter, can we have the matching units to go up the top? Because otherwise it just feels weird. I like to have the options. I don't necessarily use these things, but I like to have options. You know, I like to keep my, as most people do, I like to keep my options open. So there we go. There's me just hovering around. I like to have a window above a sink. I don't know why. I like the idea of when you're doing the washing up, because let's be honest, washing up is a really, really rubbish job. I hate it with a passion. If you're going to do it, I'd like to be able to look outside while I'm doing it. You know? So that's what I like to have. I like to have a nice view. And from this window, you know, you'd have a view of the creek, and you can see out the back. See any boats going along by? Are there boats that go along that creek? I don't know. I can't remember. So I did put a big table, but I thought it was a bit too big. And so in my story play idea, there's an adult and 2 children living here. So you would only need 3 seats. You know, anybody else, let's be honest, they'll probably go and sit on the sofa anyway. So there we go. And then I do use the upper cabinets, and then I realise I'm spending too much money. So I think I do come and take them out. Before I put them on, when I put them on the gallery, I put the more expensive one on the gallery, and then I take a load of stuff out and put the cheaper stuff on the gallery. So if anyone's thinking you've put the washer dryer in the kitchen, and I'm sure loads of other people, I know Sactile says this remember this as well. Yeah, in England we tend to have our washer dryer in the kitchen. Or we'll have a separate utility room. I would love a separate utility room. Honestly, I see these Pinterests and these videos of people with these wonderful separate spaces that they can have their washing and they can shut the door on it. I'd love it. But again, washing is the absolute, I'm sure every parent understands that the washing is the absolute bane of their life. Honestly, I have 3 children and I seem to be washing forever. My husband actually said to me, oh, well, to save money, we will only do the washing overnight. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to keep up with all this with all the washing if I only do the washing. Could you imagine? I'm having 3 kids and 3 dogs and a partner as well, and only doing your washing overnight. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can't do that. I would never catch up with anything. So anyway, off on a tangent there. We like a bit of a tangent. The dish rack, I've put that over the window, and there is a reason. I saw those home improvement programs. I love watching those. Mainly again living vicariously through them, I suppose, because I can't do any of that stuff. And they put shelving. There was a house and they had limited space, so they put shelving in front of the window. So this light still came through the window, but they used the window as shelving. So I've started doing that in some of my builds, particularly sort of the really smaller ones, and I found that very helpful. So yeah, thank you for that. I always put pet bowls in my builds as well, where I possibly can, just because I love animals, particularly dogs. So I always like to have a dog. My idea is there's a dog in this house as well. So pop a nice green carpet. You'll notice if anyone sees any other my builds generally do. I try so hard to not do the same things over and over again. I always end up doing the same things. I always have like the yellows and the greens, those sort of tones. I either go those sort of tones or I go totally the absolute opposite, and I do some wild and wacky colour schemes that are really bright and colourful. I love those sorts of things. I love the paranormal pack. That's really helpful. So yeah, just use the tool mod to move that mirror. I love it. Have a nice big mirror above the fireplace. Maybe a little bit old school decorating, something that somebody does old school, but I like doing it. Do I end up using the mirror, or do I end up using a bigger mirror? Because yeah, I like that style of mirror. That's what I wanted. I wanted that style of mirror, but I think I wanted it longer, slightly longer and slightly bigger as well. But even with the tool mod, I've noticed it's really difficult to resize the mirrors, because the frame resizes but the mirror itself doesn't, and it's really frustrating. You find that with windows and stuff as well. If you try to resize the windows, the hole stays the same size, but it's only the frames that change. But minor things. Just going to pop some basic furniture. I think we've got new swatches of these couches now. Those were the ones that came, that big base game update. There was new swatches with those couches. So if you wanted to go a little bit more exciting with the colours, you can carry on and do those. Just free placing them a little bit, just to make it look a little bit more lived in. I don't think the desk lives there. I think it goes somewhere else, or do I leave it there? I can't remember if I leave it there, or if that was just for the cheap version. But I know I move it for the expensive version, it goes somewhere else. So just, again, I tend to jump around a little bit with the house and stuff. So I'm just thinking, I've only got like 3 minutes left, and I'm only just doing the downstairs. I must not do any of the upstairs in this one. Upstairs, I must put something upstairs. Keep the same wallpaper, obviously, because I like the continuity. And we've got a bedroom for the children. and a bedroom for, I think I did it so that we had a grown-ups bedroom, a kids bedroom, a bathroom, and a grown-ups bedroom. My idea behind my little gameplay person who lives here, she's a single mum, maybe a newly single mum. She's trying to earn some money. She's got a child and a toddler, so that's what will go into the room. Is going to be a child's bed and a toddler bed. So I think I didn't decorate the upstairs on camera. There's some screenshots coming up in a minute because I don't decorate the top floor on camera. I don't know if I lost the footage or if I just forgot to press record, which I do all the time. So never be shocked if I've forgotten to press record on something. And you'll see over in the top corner is the desk with the computer for mum to work on, and then a bookshelf to separate, and then a little kids table for the kids to play at whilst mum's doing some work. So here we go. I think you'll see it in a moment. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Thank you. Bye bye.